Hello, folks. This is another quick video. This video is going to be quick because I got somewhere I got to go. But the thing is, I'm going to make my point about the CRT thing because you know what? This is really starting, this is getting ridiculous now. And you know what? I'm going to say it to the ether to y'all people who want to do this shit. Because now you guys want to ban books about the Holocaust because of depictions of graphic nudity and violence. And of course, the state that's doing that, I saw the state and I'm like, oh, Alabama. The Bible Belt. Oh, they want to ban that. And they're talking about CRT. They're like, oh, we don't want them in schools and blah, 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 blah. Listen, I want you. It's all about whiteness at the end of the day. That's what it's all about. Okay, you guys don't want to say it, but let's be honest here. You don't want your white kids to be exposed to the actual reality of the country. The issue is you guys are fucking cowards to admit that. You're fucking cowards. You don't want to admit that, right? Because you know it's wrong. But you guys are fucking cowards. You don't want to admit that's the real reason. But aside from that point, you just don't want your white kids to know anything. That's what it is. And I'm not blaming the kids. I'm blaming the parents who that makes y'all even more dubious and suspect that you guys want to do this. But I'm not going to get into that right now. Well, it's a part of it, but I'm going to make this sort of quick. When you do these bannings, right? Sorry, my throat is dry. If you're doing these bannings, it's very clear how you guys give the game away, especially with this CRT panic that I'm seeing, especially within southern states or those of the Christian denomination value. You guys are really showing your asses when you guys do this stuff. Like, really. Like, you're really showing, like, the emperor's bare ass at that point, right? Because I know this whole thing is full of shit. It doesn't matter what James Lindsay and these other fucking idiots say. I don't give a fuck about them. But it's very clear, you guys give the game away when every time you guys talk about banning, it's always interesting to see these right-wing conservative punditites when they talk about want to ban CRT or anything that has to do with like, oh, we don't want to see graphic depictions of, or that one parent that's like, oh, I don't want to see more queer stuff. There's graphic queer sex stuff in my children's story that I don't want to depict, that I want to show. Really. But I'll keep saying this to the hill and high water, and I'm still waiting for a state legislator in these states to stand up and call out these conservatives for what they are. Because this is the reality here, okay? We know this is bullshit because you guys, for some reason, you ban all these other books for all this other reason. But the one book you guys seem to not want to ban, which would make logical sense, you would actually ban it through your logic, would be the Bible. But none of you guys want to ban the Bible. Some of you guys argue for the Bible to be taught in schools. So what does that tell you about your whole crusade about CRT and we're indoctrinating children? It gives the game away. That's how I knew. I'm telling you. That's why when I saw the bannings that were happening in recent states and I was looking through them and they're banning these materials, the one thing that they swore that they're not banning is the Bible. And I saw that and I'm like, huh. Right there. There it is. There it fucking is. It's white Christianity rearing its fucking head all over again, as it's always have in this country. Right? So it's about white supremacy. It's about white people having plausible deniability. There's a lot of that going on, right? About the history. But I always found it extremely funny. This sort of, it's like a cut that you have that's there. But you try to act like it's not there, but it is like a gaping cut. And the problem with that is And this is why the Bible is the example. None of you guys want to ban the fucking Bible. You would think you guys ban a book about the Holocaust because it shows the horrors of the Holocaust, and you have nudity and all this other stuff due to what the Nazis did on those concentration camps. But y'all are okay with David chopping off dudes' foreskins and putting them in a sack, right? Y'all okay with that, right? You're okay with the daughters of the guy from Sodom and Gomorrah, right? One of his daughters, two of his daughters, actually attempting to have sex with their own father, committing incest, basically, within the plot of the story. But yet, that's not getting banned. You know, we have a God that says, I love the smell of burning flesh. Guess that's okay, right? Yeah. That's how you know this whole thing is bullshit. Because if these people were honest and they want to ban all this stuff, they would have banned the Bible. Of course they're not going to ban the Bible. But as I always said in the previous video, that was like a while back, I said I'm still waiting for that one person to stand up when they have these votes, and they literally just go on that podium stage when they deliver the deliberation, and they just read the most violent passages in the Bible, and then I need them to look at those congresspeople and be like, why is this not banned? Why is this book not banned? And they're gonna stand radio silent, not saying shit, because the game is given. All right. Everything else, everything that's a threat to whiteness, everything else, we'll ban it. The Bible, though, we don't need to ban it. Right. Don't need to ban that. We'll just keep those vicious passages there and just sugarcoat that shit, right? Man, I mean, it's getting out of control with what they're doing down south. But it's funny. It's these Bible Belt states, and I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, yep. And the Bible isn't banned. Of course, it's not. Of course, the one that has the more vicious passages, yeah, of course, that's not. Those are not banned. Of course, of course, those aren't banned. Like I'm gonna give my 7-year-old a story to read about King David murdering a whole bunch of people and putting their foreskins in a fucking sack. Right? I mean, come on. Give me a fucking break. So, I've made my peace about this whole CRT thing many times, and I don't want to repeat myself over again, but it's very clear, you know, a bunch of fucking people are cowards that don't want to admit what it is, why they're doing it. Right? And they're using the whole we're protecting our children. Yet the Bible isn't banned. So the book of indoctrination, that's fine. You know. Or, like, you want my kid to, like, especially how some of y'all evangelicals talk about hell. Yet somehow y'all fine with that? That's the thing that's funny. It's like, oh, graphic nudity and everything that's in the Holocaust, we don't want that to happen. But depictions of hell, of people getting their fucking nails ripped off and other violent shit, that's okay. I mean, it's funny. It's funny. But it gives the game away. That's how I kind of know this whole thing is bullshit. And at the end of the day, it's all about protecting white supremacy and whiteness. That's what it is at the end of the day. You want your kids to be fucking ignorant of the world around them. so you can easily indoctrinate them. That's what it is. And that's it. So, folks, you have a nice day. Stay frosty.